We didn't sign Jude Bellingham even though we really wanted him. We didn't sign Moises Caicedo despite having a record bid accepted for him. But this time, we will sign Florian Wirtz. Manchester City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Liverpool all wanted him, all were in the race for him, but now there's only one team left standing. Everyone has backed off. Real Madrid backed off because they have not been able to sell Rodrigo in time for them to even have the money to sign him. Manchester City, well, they said that the finances didn't make sense. But this is a team that literally prints out money. Considering how much they spend, we all know it's because the project wasn't good enough for Florian Wirtz. Bayern Munich were the favourites until they messed up really badly. They pushed too hard through the media, upsetting the Wirtz family. And what did they do? The very next day, they were in England looking for a house in Liverpool. And apparently, a phone call with Arne Slot changed everything. Wirtz sees Liverpool as the best footballing project available for him, and the best footballing project for him to become an even better player than he already is. And that's coming from a player who's already widely considered the best number 10 in world football right now. Let that sink in. We're not just signing a top talent, we're beating Bayern Munich to sign Germany's biggest superstar. Yesterday, Liverpool fans were blessed with some crazy news. Florian Wirtz has chosen Liverpool as his next club, and now final negotiations are underway. This isn't just a big signing, it's a seismic shift in how Liverpool are being perceived. It's a statement of intent from Liverpool. We just won the league title. Before we've even picked up the trophy, we are already signing one of the most sought after footballers in world football right now. But now comes the big question. How does Florian Wirtz actually play? Where will he fit into Liverpool's team, and how will Arne Slot use him to completely transform our attack? Let's break it down for you. Let's talk about the player himself, Florian Wirtz. Last season, he racked up 11 goals and 18 assists in just 32 games, spearheading Bayer Leverkusen to a domestic double. This season, he's already got 16 goals and 15 assists in 45 appearances. And that is in a team that wasn't even hitting the same lengths that they were hitting the season before. These are elite numbers, but here's the twist. Wirtz isn't even a numbers guy. He's not just chasing stats. He's not chasing goals and assists. Those just naturally happen because of his game. What sets him apart from other players is his elegance on the ball. The way he glides with the ball at his feet. The way he has that immaculate first touch even under serious pressure. His close control. It's all so effortless for him. The way he plays football looks so simple, yet it's so difficult to play. He makes the game look so easy. When you combine that kind of beauty on the ball with the efficiency that he has, you automatically become one of the best players in the world. Under Xavi Alonso, Wirtz was primarily played as a creative number 10. Not a rigid fixed one, someone who was allowed to roam around the pitch. The system was built around the quality of Florian Wirtz. He dropped deep to progress the play. He drifted wide to take on defenders 1v1. He constantly popped up in the half spaces to link the midfield and the attack. He can do everything you want in an attacking midfielder, but the standout trait for me and all day long is his football IQ and his spatial awareness. The way he's able to read the game is ridiculous. It reminds me a lot of what Mesut Ozil could do at Real Madrid and at Arsenal. The way he's able to find spaces in between the defense and midfield, pick up the ball, use body feints to break defensive lines. That's exactly the kind of intelligence that Liverpool have definitely been missing in their attack. And then there's the playmaking. I've been watching this guy since under 21 tournaments for Germany, and even then I was talking about him being the next big thing at Bayer Leverkusen after Kai Havertz. He's a natural talent at it. Even when I was watching the under 21 football, when you see his creativity, he reminds you so much of what Kevin De Bruyne was at Manchester City. His vision is outrageous. His timing on the passes. So not only has he been able to see that this pass is available, but the way he times it for his teammates is simply world class. And then on top of that, he makes brilliant runs in behind, and then he's able to create brilliant cutbacks for his teammates. And just imagine him linking up with Mohamed Salah. That is world-class players on the same wavelength, on the same intelligence on the pitch. It's got me salivating at the thought of how many goals and assists Mohamed Salah will get, knowing that he has Florian Wirtz behind him. In the final third, Wirtz doesn't rush. He always makes the right decision, time and time again. And that's what sets apart the world-class players to the very good players. That decision-making in the final third is key. And something that Florian Wirtz always does well is make the right decision. He also works his socks off. He's humble, he's grounded, and he contributes defensively for the team. He's always in that team-first mindset. If it's a big game, he's either scoring, he's assisting, or he's having an unbelievable performance. So we're talking about a player who not only does it against the small fry, but against the big fry as well. He understands pressing triggers. He understands that this is the time to chase after a player, and that is so key for an Arne Slot system. In my opinion, after watching Bayer Leverkusen under Xavi Alonso extensively during their time, Wirtz was the heartbeat of that Bayer Leverkusen team, of that legendary Leverkusen team. They went unbeaten in the Bundesliga and they won the DFB Pokal. And Florian Wirtz was the key to it. He's not a signing. He is a franchise player, a system-defining talent, someone who has that X factor and can change a game in an instant. That level of unpredictability added to his end product makes him one of the dangerous players in the world right now. But here comes the real question. How exactly does Florian Wirtz fit into this Liverpool team? And how does Arne Slot use him at Anfield? So how exactly would Wirtz fit into this Liverpool team? Well, there are three main ways I believe Arne Slot could use him. And no, that's not as a false nine. I've seen some people try to suggest that. And it's definitely not as a right winger, as I saw one person weirdly suggest. In my opinion, the number one obvious one is of course as the attacking midfielder at the number 10. This is where he is most comfortable. He'd play between the lines, he'd orchestrate the attacks, he'd constantly link up with Salah and Gakpo to progress the ball forward, and he thrives in those tight half spaces. This role would maximize his elite vision and his final third creativity. But here's the thing, I still think Dominic Szoboszlai is very underrated in this Liverpool team, and he is one of Liverpool's most important players because of what he provides us off the ball. So why can't both of them play? That brings us to option number 2, Florian Wirtz as the left winger, coming in from the left wing as an inside forward. Now that makes more sense when you consider Liverpool are pursuing Milos Kerkez, and I've spoke about Milos Kerkez in a previous video which you can catch as well. A player who offers real width and overlapping runs. So now you have Wirtz coming inside, Kerkez going on the outside providing width, and it's almost like a double 10 with Wirtz and Szoboszlai playing on the inside of the pitch. That's pure chaos for opposition defenders who will be extremely stuck with Wirtz's creativity and Szoboszlai's ball striking. And finally, option number 3 in my opinion, which is probably a risky one and you would play against a very deep block, it's Wirtz as a left central midfielder, as a left-sided 8, a hybrid between what a number 6 does and what a number 10 does. That means he'd have to do the tackling as well as the passing of moving that ball forward, similar to what Alexis McAllister does, but with probably a little bit more creativity. But this would provide Slot with a lot of options and a lot of fluidity, a lot of vertical progression, which he absolutely loves. But that's definitely the last way I would use Florian Wirtz, because you really want him in that final third. And no matter where he plays, Wirtz gives Liverpool something that they don't currently have. With Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving, the biggest burden on Liverpool right now was how to replace his creativity. The guy can create from anywhere. I know Liverpool fans want to talk about his defending, but let's be real. That guy is a creative genius. And how do you replace that? By signing another creative genius. And that's exactly what Florian Wirtz is, but from central areas, no longer out wide, which Arne Slot actually doesn't like. He likes it centrally. He can slow the game down, speed it up, recycle possession, break the lines with passing, and then in the final third, he averages over 2 key passes per game for Leverkusen in the last season. We badly need that kind of playmaking, and we haven't had it since Felipe Coutinho left Liverpool, if we're really being honest. Before Florian Wirtz, Liverpool's creativity all was on that right-hand side. Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold. On the odd occasion, Robertson and maybe Luis Diaz did a couple of things as well. The central midfielders, for the most part, was more about defending than it was attacking, besides maybe Alexis McAllister. But now that you have Florian Wirtz pulling the strings through the middle, Arne Slot can really evolve Liverpool into a technical, dominant, possession-based side, which he wants, but wasn't able to implement because he didn't have the right players for it last season. He definitely did show bits of it, but it wasn't perfect like he wants it. And the funny thing is, I actually think Darwin Núñez would benefit massively with Florian Wirtz being in the team, but his confidence is shot. So in my opinion, the striker needs to be the next person we get in. And whether that's Isak, whether that's Alvarez, who I believe are the elite tier strikers, or whether that's going to Gyökeres, Sesko or Ekitike, who are one level below that. Honestly speaking, even if it's just Florian Wirtz and Mohamed Salah, the strikers will be thinking, wow, we have these two players behind us. Why would we not want to join Liverpool? Imagine if you're Isak right now. You've already hit 20 goals at Newcastle with Jacob Murphy and Harvey Barnes or Anthony Gordon out wide. Imagine how many goals he could score if he had Florian Wirtz or Mohamed Salah behind him. Those things can be very key when you're actually trying to sign a player. Now, in terms of the downsides of this move, and this is being very, very far-fetched, there's a few concerns. Let's be real. First of all, he's coming from the Bundesliga. How does he translate from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, which is probably more physical and more intense? But if we actually look at it, Germans generally do well in the Premier League, and Bundesliga players especially the ones that signed for Manchester City. Unless you're Jadon Sancho or Timo Werner, there's obviously going to be a couple who don't actually do well. When we're talking about Wirtz, though, he's strong, intelligent, and he thrives under pressure. So he's perfect for the Premier League. The second fear would be that he had an ACL injury in 2022. That was a very serious injury. But since then, he's come back. He's not had many injuries. And he's played regularly, looked sharp, played a lot of minutes. So I don't know if that knee injury is going to be an issue in the future. And yes, then there's the price tag. He's obviously going to cost more than 100 million. But when you're talking about someone in conversation who could be a top 10 to 20 player in the world, it doesn't really matter what the price tag is. This is a game changer, a needle mover. These are the players that you pay the big money for. Some will say, why not spend that on the striker, on the left winger or the DM? Well, that's just because this is the available player who costs that much. There's no striker who costs that much that is probably available because Newcastle won't sell Isak and Alvarez just joined Atletico Madrid. Florian Wirtz is a generational talent. He's available right now. You don't pass on that. You just buy them. Overall, though, this is a statement signing from Liverpool, one of the biggest transfers the club has made in years. We haven't seen Liverpool buy a ready-made player like this since probably Thiago Alcantara, also from Bayern Munich at that time. Thiago was already in his peak, though. Florian Wirtz is coming into his peak. This is completely different. Florian Wirtz is just entering what we call his prime years, and he's already playing like one of the best in the world. This isn't a luxury addition. He is going to be the focal point of Liverpool's attack for years to come, even when Mohamed Salah leaves. If he even fulfills 80% of his potential, this team will definitely be built around his qualities, and the timing couldn't be better. Liverpool haven't even lifted the trophy yet, but they've already got Frimpong through the door. Florian Wirtz could be next, and Milos Kerkez is already quite advanced. You want these players in quickly so that you have a full pre-season with them and they're ready to go as soon as the season starts. And I really love the work that Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are doing in the hierarchy. Wirtz is a game changer, and believe me, clubs like Arsenal and Manchester City are on red alert. They are going to be thinking, who can we sign to match this signing? Manchester City literally wanted Wirtz because he's the perfect player to replace the outgoing Kevin De Bruyne. They are losing the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, but they're not being able to replace him with like-for-like quality. Liverpool aren't losing anyone in the attacking midfield role, but they're adding someone like Florian Wirtz. And under Arne Slot, Liverpool won't just sit back and admire what they have. They are going to double down. He is ruthless. If a player isn't up to standard, whether that's on the pitch, whether that's on the training ground, or what they do off the pitch, Arne Slot will get rid of you. He'll move you on. And he needs to be convinced by you as a player for you to really hit the heights that he wants you to hit. So by spending this kind of money on Florian Wirtz, Liverpool are sending a clear message to the Premier League and the rest of Europe. We are not the underdogs anymore. We are the big dogs. And honestly, it's a great feeling knowing that we're on the verge of signing a player this important, someone so highly rated, wanted by all the big clubs in the world. But I want to know what you guys think. Are you excited about Florian Wirtz potentially joining Liverpool? Do you think he's worth that price tag? And where do you think he actually fits in Arne Slot's system? Let me know down below in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more deep dive content like this, and hit the notification bell so you know whenever I upload. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and peace.